Hey everybody, I'm back with another New World video today. A little sooner than expected, but we got some new info from a blog post detailing one of the game's major systems, Corrupted Breaches, and this helps give us a better look at what to expect for endgame PvE in New World. Now, we've known about the Corrupted for a while. They've been the highlight in most official videos released so far. They're the enemies with the red glowy eyes showcased in the game's cinematic trailer. When a few adventurers try grabbing this ominous relic, end up corrupting the entire island and turning into soulless monsters. They're one of the 4 enemy factions in the game, in addition to the Lost, Angry Earth, and Ancients, but the Corrupted specifically are going to be playing a major role in New World's endgame PvE, between high-level boss encounters, keep invasions, and the Corrupted Breaches, which we're getting a detailed look at today. So what are Corrupted Breaches? I want to dive into everything we know and what we learned from this brand new article. Before we get into the video though, help me pay my bills and enjoy this brief word from today's sponsor. Thank you. Today's video is sponsored by Conquerors Blade, a free-to-play tactical MMO set in a vast open medieval world where you create your own warlord, build an army, and conquer your enemy. The game's features include online siege battles, these epic 15 vs 15 skirmishes. You can create your own warlord, customizing a commander with 10 unique weapon classes and special abilities to choose from. There are over 55 diverse units, including melee, ranged, cavalry, and more, and you can create or join a house, a guild-like system that lets you fight and share resources with other players. Season 2 Wrath of Nomads introduced a brand new unit line called the Sons of the Steppes. There's a new battle pass with a set of challenges, season exclusives, and nomadic-themed cosmetics, 3 new battlefields, and more matchmaking features, UI changes, and the ability to join NPC houses, as well as a new ranking system, player titles, and more. So sign up if you're interested for Conquerors Blade now using the link below. It's going to help me out a ton, and it also gets you an arsenal of battle supplies, which includes a golden helmet, unit and hero XP cards, and the Hwacha arrow launcher, which is a heavy siege weapon. That is Conquerors Blade. Let's get into the video. So to put it simply, Corrupted Breaches are invasion-like public events. Per the article, Aeternum is a land of immense beauty and endless wonder that the Corrupted seek to stain and dominate with their vile presence, taking what was once serene and peaceful and twisting it to their will. They do this by ripping open the ground and flooding the area with corrupted creatures and structures. The very air turns to a thick black smoke, and all is illuminated by an evil red glow, pulsating with an unearthly light. These are known as Corrupted Breaches. At first glance, this seems really similar to invasion events from a lot of MMOs, like the Dolmen invasions from ESO, or the Rift system from Rift. Now, one of the more interesting things about New World's Corrupted Breach system is that it appears to be based off of player progress within the world. As players get established in settlements and forts, the Corrupted take notice and breaches will start popping up in those territories. They say that the longer the breaches go unaddressed, the more difficult completing basic tasks like traveling and resource gathering will become, which makes me think that there's going to be some sort of growth mechanic, whether the breaches actually physically expand and grow out in size, or more breaches just start popping up as players are settled within these locations. Breaches will consist of a variety of different types of enemies. There are the base soldiers called cultists, who appear to make up most of the ranks of the corrupted hordes. And then there's things like the acolytes of corruption. These summon dread portals and monoliths, and they're also very strong fighters, levitating across the battlefield, flinging deadly bolts and conjuring explosive orbs. And there will be a ton of other different type of corrupted. These are just the 2 that they've highlighted in this article. Breach locations are going to be clearly marked for players on the in-game map. Every territory you'll be able to see indicators showcasing where each of the different type of corrupted breaches are, which lets you decide if you want to avoid them or try to take on the challenge. And there isn't just one type of corrupted breach, and I think this is something kind of cool that they're doing with this type of invasion system. Apparently there will be various tiers of difficulty. According to the article, the stronger you become, the more the corrupted will seek to destroy you. They will open new and more powerful powerful breaches, spewing forth creatures of impossible size and strength. The corrupted are a relentless enemy and won't stop until you're wiped from the face of Eternum. So never. They're never gonna stop. This is quite clearly gonna be this constant endgame activity for players to engage in. And the quote, creatures of impossible size and strength, to me pretty much implies boss fights. Now, we've known that boss fights were going to be a thing. They've said there will be challenging open world encounters meant for groups of players, but now it's pretty much been confirmed that breaches will be at least one source of these boss type encounters. The article also goes into detail about some of the various types of breaches, ranging from smaller ones manageable by a single player to massive ones that require a large group. There are 4 different types that we know of at the moment. There will be the corrupted monoliths, where zealots have unearthed a towering ancient monolith that they use to spread corruption throughout the land. There are corrupted portals, where acolytes will open a summoning portal to bring their armies into that territory. There is the infested grove, where the ground will split open from this corrupted Azoth underneath, giving rise to these twisted monstrosities. And then the festering hive, a towering hive that springs forth empowered corrupted beings. Now, in order to defeat a corrupted breach, players are going to have to clear out all the enemies protecting the area and then use this special Azoth infused staff to seal it. Now, the staffs are going to have to be crafted by players prior to going to a corrupted breach, and they will be required to cleanse these locations. It's also said that players will need to craft things like special potions to protect them from the corruption itself. So you'll go there, you'll fight back the enemies, you use this Azoth staff that you crafted, and then you seal the breach. In doing so, you're going to be rewarded with what they're calling unique resources found nowhere else, and odds are these will be highly valuable and used for some special crafting and special gear in the game. Those are corrupted breaches. So what else do we know about endgame PvE in New World? We know about these corrupted keep invasions. These will be like the 50 vs 50 territory wars, except entirely PvE, where hordes of corrupted enemies will attack the player-owned keeps, and if not defended, apparently they could overrun the location. Now, we're still waiting on official details, but this activity has been mentioned numerous times. In fact, it was even mentioned in the final paragraph of this recent article. We also know about the other enemy factions, the Lost, the Angry Earth, and the Ancients. Almost certainly there's going to be quests to fight these enemies for things like reputation, resources, and gear, and likely there will be some sort of open world boss variants for each one of these factions as well. You can imagine them doing some pretty cool stuff with like the Angry Earth and the Ancients in particular. And then of course, gathering and crafting has been said numerous times. That's going to play a big role in New World. This will be a major pillar of the game, gathering resources from things like defeating the corrupted breaches and then using that stuff to make yourself some really awesome weapons or armor. And then PvE players can PvP. In the last video, we covered how they're really trying to make it so that PvE and PvP players can coexist and work together in this game, and they're even looking to drive PvE players to be incentivized to participate in PvP by doing things like offering a very, very good rewards. Now, I know that's not what a lot of PvE-focused players want to hear, but that's going to be a big part of this game. This isn't just a PvE game. So now that we have a better idea of what the end game PvE in New World is going to be, corrupted breaches, corrupted invasions, likely some activities with those other 3 factions, gathering and crafting, and PvP. PvP is a big part of it, the end game experience. I know it's not PvE, but it's a big part of the total package, and that's the biggest thing to keep in mind here. New World isn't a traditional MMO with this big focus on these end game PvE activities that you expect from a lot of MMOs. As of this moment, there are no dungeons and raids to speak of, and we don't know if those are ever going to come to the game. At the very least, they aren't gonna be there at launch. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some more end game activities revealed before launch. They seem to have kicked up the activity when it comes to announcing and revealing things for the game as we get closer and closer to the official launch a couple of months from now. But I just have to say, if you just want a PvE MMO, this might not be the game for you. Like, there are clearly things to do. There's a bunch of different stuff that you could do that could keep PvE players busy, but It's quite obvious that New World is a game that is looking to mix PvP and PvE and not just be a huge focus of one or the other. That is the type of game they're aiming for, and you just need to keep that in mind. Again, you're not going to get 5-man dungeons where you're running the holy trinity of tank, DPS, and healer. You're not going to get these big massive 40-man raids outside of PvP 50 versus 50 battles. It's a different type of game. It's looking to deliver a different style of MMO. I'm going to continue to keep a close eye on New World. I mean, it is one of the few new MMOs on the horizon, and even though Amazon appears to be kind of coming in hot with this game, with a lot of the big changes that we've discussed over the past few videos, I wish them nothing but the best. I really hope it turns out well, like every game. I want it to be good. I don't want games to be bad. I don't want games to fail. I hope they're good. I still try to have a critical eye on things without trying to be too overwhelmingly negative, because, you know, YouTube's already filled with enough of that. So anyway, that's it for today's video. Hopefully that gives you guys a better idea of what to expect for endgame PvE in New World. And yeah, we'll keep talking about this game as new information comes out. Thank you for watching. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video.